Welcome back to another episode, guys. This time we are tackling our tray situation. So this tray build is going to be pretty much on the budget side and as quick as I can because I want to get it back on the road so I can drive it. I want to have dog boxes and a trundle tray and all that sort of stuff, but that's a later problem. So I'm going to build it to suit them where they can just be bolted on. But for now, I just want to get it built and done. I'm going to build my own tube sliders, my tube guards. The reason I'm building my own, when I was at the steel shop the other day, they already have prefabricated corners. I wasn't confident enough bending them myself because you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 bends, but they'll all be on different sort of planes, if you get what I mean. And my bender, I can't sort of get the planes right. So I notice I have bends. So they're probably going to be pretty cheap to make, which would be great. The uprights are pretty cheap, and then it's pretty much going to be RHS headboard with like a tube cross through it probably, then sliders and kickers and all that sort of stuff, but that's a later problem. Let's get the tray done, let's get the car back on the road, get it driving. So as you would probably know, it was a wagon, and with a wagon you've got no tray mounts, nothing. You've only got a set of body mounts here and body mount there, but they're no good to me. So we're gonna start from the beginning and we've got to make ourselves some tray mounts. I did a test fit on one to see how it would go. It's a C channel or C purlin. What I have is 100mm overall with 50s down the side. The main section here is 5mm thick, and then these side walls are thicker. Not sure why, but it looks to be like 7mm, maybe 8mm. We'll go with 7mm. So 5 and 7mm. It was either that or like 3mm. I know chassis walls 3mm, but I would rather just over engineer it to begin with. What I've done with this one, got my long level here. I've clamped it to a part of the chassis here that's level, which then should theoretically give me the same on the other side, because if it's level, then this will be level, theoretically. And then I'm using the top line of the level for my, let's say, chassis. So this will be my chassis mount for my tray to mount to. The top line is flush. So then that way I can get 3 of them. I don't know if I'll get 4 because of the situation I got going on here. I don't want to put one where the tire is. I don't know, I'll have to work it out. I may get one here actually. I may get 2 at the front and 2 at the back. We'll work it out. We'll keep on rolling. I'm going to put a nice plate on this. Yes, we'll go along and we'll cut a couple of these now. This one here is like, I don't know, 3mm too low. So I've gone and got a couple of little washers, and we're going to go use them as packers to get it exactly where we need. And that right there is perfection. Look at this. It's like 0.1 of a mil down.
Wow.
Beautiful. As you can see, all 3 are done on this side. I opted with 3. I checked Jammer's car and then my work ute as well to see what sort of spacings they had and ideas they had. Obviously not going to be as thick and heavy duty as this stuff, but I checked and both cars had 3. Gemma's tray's 1600 long. The work ute was like 2 meters and it only has 3. This is probably going to be like 1800, so it's about the same sort of mark. I just went as far forward as I could with this one, so my fill for my water tank is very close to it. This piece of old pipe still fits, which is nice. And then the breather is in the center of this one. I've just drilled out a hole so I can run the breather through the center of it, and it will obviously just come around. It's just a pipe, easy to pull on and off, so if I ever had to pull it on and off to get the tank out, it's not fouling on anything. It will just be the breather hose itself. Now we'll rip in, replicate these on the opposite side the exact same way as this. I've got my 6 tray mounts sort of on, measured them, so they're pretty much identical to each other on each side. What I'm going to do now is go get a wire wheel on the grinder, polish around the outsides, and then I'm going to weld them all on. I might do, you know, 1 good run on this, 1 good run on that, 1 good run on that, work my way around just so I don't warp them and distort them or the chassis or anything like that. Got my 2 wire wheels, so we'll just go strip a bit. My safety goggles, because we don't want the YouTube community grilling me for not having them on my eyeballs. They're all burnt on now. If you've watched my last episode on building my diff, you would know that I brought some 6mm plate in 130 wide and 100 wide. This is my piece I have left, that's 100mm wide. And if you've been paying attention, these are 100mm wide. So what happens perfectly, if I get one of these, it's the perfect width straight across the top. I just got to cut them in 50mm strips, 6 of them, weld them on, drill a hole directly in the center of every single one, get a bolt and a nut, bolt the nut to the bottom side, weld the nut on, take the bolt out, and then that will be permanently ready for mounting my supports to hold my cross member of my tray. Poof, I'm back. See, I got my little pieces now. Straight on top. Have all 6 of them. So now we're just gonna go along, put them on. I'm gonna get my straight edge or level, but it's used as a straight edge today. Once I put all these on and just run it from front to back just to make sure they're all the same height, because I know they can change. I'd prefer them to be perfectly the same height. If I have to, I'll space them up or down because they're all going to get welded on anyway. Now if we look, they're like a mil off, so I'm going to lift that one just a little.
Are you going to use packers or you're not?
No packers. I got a little polishing blade on the grinder. I took this middle one out, went from front to back one, checked it, and I could feel it was just touching, and now, oh, just sleeves in. Oh, look at that. Wow, cuz let's burn these bad boys on. Bloody roof liner. The littlest tiny bit on the ground here and it just caught fire. I could smell it. Keep on welding. Technical difficulty averted. Is that the word? I don't know. But anyway, problem solved. Tray mounts are fabbed up, welded tops, nuts are welded on them, bolts are come out. I'm gonna check outside here. I got some scrap steel that I keep just in between the shed and the fence. I just need some little uprights really to put them through, which then is what my tray will be welded off. And then the bolt will come out of that and the tray will just go right off. So they're permanent, they stay there forever, and then everything else comes off. Moving great. These tray mounts are rock solid. Go see if we got some scrap, and if not, steel shop tomorrow. I went to the steel shop this morning. Another rainy day in Canberra, which is inevitable at the moment apparently. Lots of rainy days, but that just means more build time. So I done a little bit of working out yesterday. What I did is I ran the level across this and then across the 2 front ones to get my height on where it matches on the body of the car. Then what I did is I ran a level from where it matched on the body to the front flare. Then I ran a level from that at a nice even line down one of the body lines on the car, which was the decal, the full drive decal. Then I measured from that to what my front flare was, the highest point of the front flare, which then gave me, I think it was like 110 mil. So in order to get this guard at roughly the same height as the front guard, I need to come up 110 mil. So I've gone and got some 100 by 50 in 3 mil. What I'm going to do is cut them into 100 mil blocks and they will sit on top of this, which will bolt to that, and that will be my bolting way. The reason I'm doing them as blocks is then you can access each end to undo it. Probably once I get the 100s on, I'll weld one straight across all three, which will tie them together, and then I'll start going crossways with like my base of my floor and start building the outside pieces. Center punch them all. Change of plan already. As you can see, this is how I would have to tighten and loosen these bolts. So all those nuts that I welded on yesterday are pointless, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to go bolt from the bottom up with a nut in here, so you can put the nut on and then just put a spanner in and loosen it this way. Technically it's just going to be like double nutted realistically, because I'll have a nut there and a nut here. So that's my plan, because doing this once the tray's on would be hell annoying. So, and obviously I wouldn't be able to do it like that because there'll be a tray and this will be welded to it. So all right, that's out. This way, that way up. Good thing with having this nut on the bottom here, probably really loud because I was just leaning on the microphone, is I can thread it in, have it sitting there, and I can take the tray on and off and the bolt will still be there, I don't lose it. I also put like a little rubber mat between the 2 bits of metal, so that way It's not like metal on metal just rubbing through each other over time. So it might rub the rubber out, but at least that way it's a bit more solid. Well, as we can see now, I went and just grabbed my steel off the car. 50 by 50, 3 mils here. And then I've just got one running across that way. So this will tie these three together. And then that I'll try and put at least where they are to help cross member them, and then obviously a couple more in between to where they need to be. As for height, you can see that when I've put that, I've just clamped the level over there to the side of the car and ran it down to where my front flare is, and it's like 20 mil, 25 mil difference. The rear guard will be 25 mil higher than what the front one is, but that's not too bad. And then that may give me even more up travel. So when I worked it out from here, from top of my wheel to roughly there, we're like 300 mil, roughly 300 mil of wheel to come up before I touch my guard. So it might actually suit pretty well. Then later on, argument's sake, if we ever went to like coilovers and all that sort of stuff, we have heaps of room. The trundle tray on Gemma's car, I just check measured it. I need 210 mil of clearance between the fuel tank and where it's going to bolt to. And if I go to here at the moment, I have a total of 245. So I have just enough clearance to put a trundle tray in later if I wish to put a trundle tray in, because trundle trays are great for one, spares, cooker, those sort of little bits and pieces. They can go in the trundle tray and you don't have to sort of worry about them then. So I think I'm going to end up running with that. I actually like that idea. As for the headboard, if I go off the top of this, because that will be my floor level, so I can get a 300 mil headboard part, like flat plate, and then up to the roof line 860, 870 mil, which I think most canopies are probably 800-ish mil tall. I'll have a quick Google and I'll tell you. This one that I found on the line here, it is 850 tall. Cool. So 850, and my headboard's 860, 870. So it should literally be like a full just standard canopy that will fit perfectly behind the car if I ever went down that path, which I don't think I will. As for width, the cab width itself is 1820. So yeah, most things will fit on this. I will make it to suit the car obviously, and then it can sort of have things thrown at it later without me having to modify everything. I can just sort of bolt them in. Right, so we clamped our front ones. I went off the cab 20 mil. That's what I did with Gemma's 70. I did 20 mil. It hasn't touched the cab or anything. Quick Google search, it says typically 10 to 20 mil because they flex differently. The body and the tray will flex differently at different times. Don't know why, don't ask me, that's out of my pay grade, but that's what I've seen. So yeah, 20 mil is how far I'm going from the cab. I'm gonna tack these front ones, then I'm gonna measure from here to there, and then I will measure the rear one, tack the rear one, burn them on completely. Here I was just explaining that my front piece, I went 10 mil past either side on the cab, just so it stuck out a little bit. On the rear, I decided to put a little dovetail, which worked out to be about a 12-degree bend. I don't have my microphone here, so I'm just going to talk to you here. I got my side pieces on, and then the way I got them square is I done a couple check measurements. I went off my supports and changed them in and out, top to bottom. And then I went from my dovetail grind mark out, made them the exact same, then made the overall width the same, top to bottom. Then I used a square, a big tri-square in the corner on the front to see if it was square. Checked both of them, it looked pretty goddamn close. And then I done the 3-4-5 trick, which is how you work out if it's square on a larger level, on a larger scale. I did 300 mil, 400 mil, and the crossways, they should be 500. If they're bang on square, it should be exactly 500. If it's 505, you're out of square, you need to twist it in and out, vice versa, opposite way. And then on the opposite side, so I did on the driver's side, 3-4-5, so 300, 400, 500, it was perfect. I went to the passenger side and went 600, 800 a meter, because multiples of 3, 4, and 5. And it was dead perfect too, like to the millimeter. So squared it and done that trick, and it's perfectly square to the headboard one, which is 20 mil off the cab each side. So theoretically, should be pretty straight. What we're going to do now is the side piece here. We're going to mark where they meet on the fronts and then where they meet on the insides, cut out 2 angles and then drop that one in, and then I can weld the corners out. just checking my square again now that I've got it sort of bolted on. I squared my line, so that's a 600, that's 800 from the internal corner. Both of them need to be the same. And then to my 800 here, I'm 1,001 1 mil out of square. Finally back into the builds again. I've been putting a couple little afternoons, like half an hour into it. That's why I have this done, which you wouldn't have seen yet, and this full tube guard. What I did when I went to the metal shop the other day, I was standing there just waiting to be served and realized they have like these pre-made bends for 32, 40 NB, whatever you're doing. Because I use 32 up there, I'm using 32 all over again. I got a nice little slide scrub rail on the side of my tray here. This is also going to be a tie-off point. I am going to put a brace in between here. I'm going to do a full brace over the tube guard, so that way when I lean against that, I don't break anything. And then I'll put another one here and obviously fully weld everything, polish them back. This took a little bit of working out to do, but what we got some 45-degree bends and then some 90-degree bends. And then I just sort of got a big level, worked out my center of my tire, marked it, worked out how wide I wanted, how far. I went a short one on the front, long one on the rear, mud flap obviously. I got two 6mm plates there. One plate's welded to that part of the tube, and then one plate's welded to my tray mount or chassis mount with some nuts welded on the inside, so I can just undo them and then it can come off. This is going to be like a nice little step. I've braced this back to the tray mount, and I may need another brace in here somewhere. That's a problem to work out once it's fully welded on, just to see how solid and stiff it is. I'll give you some close-ups on it, and then you can watch me replicate that side over there. Then we can move on to headboard, tray bed, and tail lights, which will be good. I don't know if it's all going to fit in the one episode because this is all very technical stuff, and I feel like you guys would like to know the technicalities of building a tray because it's very versatile. You could put this on any car by moving your measurements to suit your car or your wheelbase or your style. So cool, that's the one. I also changed the plastic panels on my welding helmet, and my God, I can see everything now. That's looking grouse. Wow. I actually really like it. Really proud of myself. Doing pretty good. Now what? We're gonna get some more steel for the headboard cross members. I'm gonna fill them in, obviously. That's gonna be solid as a rock, I believe. I might weld them fully, test out how good they are. Righto guys, we are gonna wrap that video up there as I have quite a bit of stuff to do and the video is already at 20-ish minutes. I don't really like doing 45 to hour long videos. I'd rather split them up, and I feel like a lot of the things I've spoken about whilst building this are things people sort of want to know as we're going along in case they want to build a tray themselves. So I will wrap that up there. As you can see, I've already started on the headboard. Next time you should hopefully see a pretty close to finished tray, not painted obviously, just built and finished, because once that's done I can do sliders and everything else and then paint everything at once rather than doing mix and match pieces here and there. Let me know if you like the length of video or if you would like me just to do long videos so you can see it all in one. Hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on part 2 of building this tray.